Hello everyone, welcome to all of you. I hope everything is going well. This weekend we are with you on Salesforce and Business Analyst topics. I'm Nisa. I will accompany with my very valuable guests. Let's get to know our guests without wasting any more time. Mr. Emin, let's start with Mr. Birol with your permission.
Okay, yeah, sure. So you want to start with me, right?
Yeah, you are
Okay.
right.
Well, I've been with Wise Coder for about a year and a half, maybe. So I'm the Salesforce Administrator instructor, and I teach Salesforce Administrator. It's administration at night, so 7 p.m. at Eastern Time. So this before this course, before this training boot camp, I actually started working as a Salesforce administrator about 4.5 years ago. So I'm here now. So another batch, another set of group of users, and I would like to know Emin, and because this is our first time meeting with Emin, so maybe he can explain, like he can introduce us himself to us.
Yeah, could you introduce yourself to us, Mr. Emin?
Yeah, sure. My name is Emin, and I am working as a senior business analyst at a company in US. And this is my 8th year in business analysis. And also I work in some technical sides of this Salesforce as well. So like I just combine my knowledge with the technical knowledge with the business knowledge. So currently I'm a senior business analyst, just like trying to gather, like it starts from the gathering requirements, going to just like implementing in the projects, any kind of projects related to Salesforce, implementations and integrations. And I am joining from New Jersey in US. Yeah, that's all.
Nice to meet you. My first question is, Mr. Birol, is for you. What is the job description of Salesforce admin?
Well, job description varies with the Salesforce administrator. Actually, even if you become a Salesforce developer, you're still going to be asked to carry on some duties of Salesforce administrator. I would say maybe 70% of your job is going to be Salesforce administrator jobs. So some of them are like managing users. If a new person joins the company, you need to be able to just add that user to the to your system, and checking the permissions, and then checking the security. And also there's the application development and developing new applications, customizing them. There is the system upgrades, like every 3 months Salesforce rolls out a new upgrade, and there's also minor upgrades. You need to be aware of those and then make sure that your system is up to date. And analyzing data, like some of them could be like inside the Salesforce, there's so much data. You need to be able to analyze them and make sure that it actually is not bringing down the system. Like, for example, if a flow is running so slow, like flow is like one of the automation tools of Salesforce. If it's running too slow, it's going to bring down the system with it. So you need to make sure that you rewrite the code so you can actually run it faster, and then there's better user experience also. So, and there's the security management. We talked about that with the user management a little bit. So just making sure that nobody outside of Salesforce can gain access to your system, and making sure that even if they're a valid user, they need to be able to access the data you want them to access to. For example, if a salesperson accesses another salesperson's data, that's going to create a chaos inside the company. You don't want that to happen. And there's like I said, there's so many reports. One of them, like, you need to be able to create reports you need to be able to train employees. That's another thing, you know, because not many people are tech savvy. So you need to be able to just show them how to use Salesforce in general and also in specific, you know, scenarios. And basically monitoring the system and then answering emails when they come in. So that's pretty much what you are supposed to be doing as a Salesforce administrator.
Mhm. Thank you so much for your answer, Mr. Birol. Mr. Emin, could you tell us about the responsibilities of a business analyst in the workplace?
Yeah, sure. First of all, business analyst is acting as a liaison between the stakeholders and the IT team. And one of the most important thing here is ensuring like everyone is working in harmony, in tandem for a common goal, or like any kind of goal of the project, like any kind of project. And also they are responsible for simplifying the processes actually, at any kind of industry. It can be manufacturing cloud, it can be sales cloud, it can be service cloud, it can be health cloud, and financial services, no problem. And also their responsibility is providing the smart and personalized services, because every customer is different. Like when we are telling the business analyst is working a lot with the stakeholders, are the business teams, our company's business teams, and the customer, and also IT team. And when you are elicitation, all kind of processes, and also like providing the smart, actually the move between those three, let's say that those are kind of like triangle. And so you have to make a better communication between them. And you have to create, maintain, update, prepare the necessary elements of administration and animations of the sales that Mr. Birol mentioned. And also, business analyst is responsible for providing effective training to clients as well, because like when you are providing any kind of solution for any kind of processes, for example, you create it for your customer, and then you have to train end users, you have to train trainers, you have to train their admin, you have to train their. And when you are training, it is not only the technical side of that. You have to know the business. You have to understand like what this process. We are not talking about the flow. Those elements on the flow is making this. That's not our idea, or that's not our goal to train them. We are training like these process, for example, that build is solving these kind of problems. And they are helping, for example, to automate these such things, for example. That's another thing. Also, as I mentioned at the beginning, we are translators, like business analysts are translators. And the translating business wants, because most of the time our customer doesn't know like technical terms, or they are not technical, tech savvy people. So you have to bring different kind of requirements, or different kind of, for example, solutions in business language. So that's important, because it's going to help elicitate, or it's going to help us like to use the various techniques, gathering the business needs from stakeholders, from the focus groups, and also by observing or by creating prototype or the wireframes, like before going to the process or building something to that. Also, we are like the business analysts are the fundamental, they explore the fundamental skills for any kind of project, like because like when it comes from, let's say, when we gather the information requirements from the customer, so you have to understand how can you explain these to your IT team. So you have to write user stories, you have to write, for example, acceptance criteria, and acceptance criteria are going to give like what kind of actually functionalities are going to happen. But all those kind of things should be from the business mindset, not the technical mindset. And the last thing I can say, we are, like business analysts, are responsible for the whole management and development of the Salesforce for tailoring customers' needs. And also you have to behave also from the customer side, that customers should, with these solution, with these, for example, implementation or integration, customer is going to actually improve or their utilizations of like the Salesforce, or for example, they are going to increase their, for example, revenue. They are going to really support and match to all organizations' needs. So that's the business analyst.
Okay, thank you so much for the informative question. It will be personal question, Mr. Birol, but what is your reason for choosing Salesforce? What attracted you to this field?
Well, yeah, I would say I was always an IT person. Like I studied computer networking in college, and I was in telecommunication companies like Verizon, AT&T Wireless, Montage, which is a voice over IP company, maybe some of you know. So what I did was I was looking at the possibility of career change. And what I did was I joined a boot camp, which, you know, was another company. So this was like maybe 4 years ago, you know, 3.5 years ago. But anyway, but I actually liked being able to manage customer information in one place, and that was one of the things that I needed. We needed actually as a company. The company that I worked at needed a solution to make sure that their information is in one place and they can manage it, they can access it very easily, and if you update it, and then it goes like everywhere. So this is actually, well, this was the solution to our problem, and we implemented Salesforce, and then I slowly got to use it, and then I became an administrator, but then I had to use it to its full potential. So what I did was I joined the boot camp, got my certification. So that was the reason. It was kind of I was kind of forced into Salesforce, but it was, you know, it was something that I needed to do at the time, because that was part of my job, to make sure that I learned Salesforce to be able to implement it. So at the end, it worked out for me, because I like what I do, and I like teaching it. I like, you know, learning new things, and there's always something new that you can learn at your job. While, you know, talking to students, there's always something new, and I enjoy it. So that's why I got into Salesforce.
Okay, I'm here to happy that Mr. Birol, thanks so much. Mr. Emin, would you recommend a person taking the admin course to take a BA, business analyst course?
So now Mr. Birol is explaining about the administrator role, and I don't want actually to just steal his students and just say that, yeah, that's the most important role or something. But I would like to say that, you know, like Salesforce administrator is a great position, and or developer, they are excellent positions, and I don't have any thought. But some people can consider becoming business analyst for several reasons. There are different kind of skills that maybe they have currently, and maybe they can like improve at some content and extent, so maybe they can become a great business analyst, for example. So I can tell that those reasons are, one of them is broader business perspective, because as a Salesforce administrator, primary focus is just like on the technical aspects of managing and configuring the Salesforce platform. But by transitioning to a business analyst actually role, so you can broaden your perspective and gain a deeper understanding of business processes and requirements. Like it's the kind of like understanding what kind of this is, okay, something is technically is built, but what is it going to help? And how is it going to help? That's important. And this allows you to contribute more effectively in strategic decision-making and align Salesforce solutions with business goals. That's one of the things I can say. The second thing I can say, stakeholder collaboration. So when you are a business analyst, you are working with various departments, including sales, marketing, service, whatever, like different kind of industries. And the business analyst can collaborate with those stakeholders to understand their needs, gather requirements, identify areas for the improvement, and then they can bring a kind of solution on the table. And this collaborative approach helps like building strong relationship with stakeholders and also ensures the business Salesforce solutions meet their needs that I said at the beginning. That's important. And those needs are specific needs most of the time. Or it depends on the company's like business processes. And the third thing I can say, business analysts are taking or getting analytical skills. Like they need a strong analytical skills to analyze multiple data sources, provide insight, understanding data model. For example, let's say Salesforce administrators or developers are talking about, let's say, objects. There's an object. In that object, there is custom object, standard object. We can make those objects like that, like this, but we are thinking always with the data model. So what those objects are actually saving, what those, for example, data are going to, where those data are going to be used. What kind of analytics like CEO of the company needs? What kind of analytics, for example, VP of the company will see? What kind of analytics, for example, sales manager should know? Because there are reports and dashboards in Salesforce, which is really amazing thing. But you have to understand what kind of data sources you are going to prepare for each, for example, position. So for each, for example, like the departments or whatever, like let's say financial services, they want any kind of reporting. So you have to understand, you have to think that what kind of data model, what kind of reports or report types you can prepare for that. So that's another thing. And the fourth thing I can say, process improvement. And the process improvement, sometimes we are telling that it is enhancement or sometimes it is redesigning. So you are simplifying or improving like the current process, understanding the future state and the current state. When analyzing current state, you are saying that stakeholder might have a different kind of, with the Salesforce is actually, it's not staying on its place. Like every day, Salesforce has different kind of, every year there are 3 improvement times like for the Salesforce. And when those improvement times, enhancement times are coming, Salesforce introduces different kind of functionalities on the Salesforce. So when we are enhancing, we are using different, for example, let's say, so you want like to have a kind of great customer services. Currently, they are in current state, they are using normal Service Cloud, but then when you are bringing Omni Studio, let's say there is an Omni Studio, or there is a, for example, Einstein GPT that you can provide these for our customer, then that's a process improvement. And you are a part of this process improvement, and your purpose is streamline their operations, enhance their operations much better by new functionalities or whatever. And also, I can say that from the 5th one, I can say career growth and opportunities. Transitioning from Salesforce administrator to business analyst, it might be one of the one advantage can be like, sometimes the companies are asking Salesforce administrators, but who understands the businesses behind like all processes they have. So it can give a broad, for example, job search for you when you are going to become the business analyst. So you can understand like maybe some works they like some companies are honestly they are finding actual business administrator, but someone who has some skills of the business analyst. So that might make a great career growth and opportunities for them. So those 5 things are a really important thing I can explain.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Emin. So, in which language will the course be in? Could you give information about the start date and the syllabus of the business analyst course?
Yeah, sure. It's going to be in English, and because the Salesforce language is in English. There are other languages like Salesforce is also brought in Japan or in other countries, but mainly it is in English, and it's better to go in that direction. So it's going to be in English, and it's starting September 4th, and it's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern time on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays.
Thanks so much. Mr. Birol, would you recommend Vice Quarter to people who are considering bootcamp training?
I mean, I work as an instructor, so my opinion would be biased, but I actually looked at some of the competitors and some of the offers they provide, some of the things that they provide, and I think that when it comes to Salesforce administrator or business analyst or developer, so I think that we are providing a better solution because we have a full package. Basically, we are providing all the knowledge. At the same time, we are giving you mentorship. We are giving you internship. So all of that combined, I think this is a full package, like I said, and it will help you get into the job market and find a job that's suitable for you. And about the business analyst aspect, I think that is a great addition to our courses because we already have Salesforce Administrator course, Salesforce Developer course, and I think it would make sense for somebody who wants to go into the business analyst side of, and it is becoming more popular and popular, by the way, and they can do that as well. That's also another choice because not everybody's, technical, and I understand that I'm on the technical side of things, and sometimes people don't have that, and they are more on the business side. Maybe they are a business owner already, and it makes sense for them to, and since they have the basic knowledge of Salesforce, even they can provide some services to companies when it comes to business processes. I think so overall, I think I would recommend Vice Quarter to everybody who's looking into Salesforce industry, and it is a great entry point for IT sector. And we said this all along, even if you're not technical, you can learn Salesforce Administrator. I mean, it is most of the things that you'll be doing is just talking with talking with the users and talking with the stakeholders, but the thing is that you're going to be providing solutions. I think that with the Salesforce Administrator, it's more technical and also providing solutions, problem solving. If you have that aspect in you, I think it would be great for you to join our bootcamp, and then you have a career ahead of you. If you want to become a business analyst, you can do that, and then or become if you like the right codes, and you can become a developer. So there's a lot of different choices.
Thanks so much, Mr. Birol. I'm sorry. My last question is for you, Mr. Emin. What are the job opportunities and positions to apply for in the business analyst field?
That's a very broad question. Now, business analyst, when you are, I work as a business analyst without Salesforce, for example. So you can be business analyst in different fields, in different companies, in different industries, in different clouds, in different like infrastructure, for example. But business analyst is the mostly what you are understanding, what you are learning in business, if you are in the business analyst path. So you are understanding data analysis, like what is the data? It's not like the very high level of the data analysis, but on the other hand, you are understanding infrastructures or softwares like data model, and you are understanding the analytics because like business analyst is understanding what are the needs of the stakeholders, what are the needs of the roles, what are the role hierarchies. Mr. Birol mentioned, for example, security. Security is, we are talking like security in high level for the data. We are telling it's hierarchy model, like the object hierarchy model, like object model or data model hierarchy is like some, let's say if you are configuring a right role hierarchy, then people can see whatever they need in the system, for example. That's very important from the security perspective. So business analyst is understanding this, and the data analysis is helping you making prototyping before the systems, configuring the flow, for example, let's say automation. So you have to understand like what kind of processes are going to be there, how you can wireframe it, how you can, for example, let's say just simply an experience cloud, like if you want to create a kind of like the platform stakeholders clients are going to use their, let's say, they are going to see their accounts, contacts, opportunities. So how you can configure it, how you can make a kind of like, as web developers, you are making a great, let's say opportunities are going to come here, page layouts, like it's going to be perfectly fine. And business analysts are understanding what is that, what is those prototyping. Another thing I can say that they know how to test things, like not like the tester, the QAs, but on the other hand, they have also like these, like we are also testing, and we are also writing UAT plan, like because when you, before making demo for the customer, you have to understand if the system works well, but not the backend. Backend is not our way, like the front end. So what, for example, what customer wants and how you are giving or how you are customizing or tailoring, because this is, you know, like one of the most important thing in projects is the capacity. When you are starting in agile methodology, capacity and velocity is really important. But I'm going to talk about the capacity when you are creating your team, and business and analysts are responsible for that. So you have to understand that every requirements are gathered completely right, and it is going to actually give you a kind of, you have to translate these gatherings into the technical side, and you are understanding that your technical team is ready and capable to complete this project goals. That's very important. So you are understanding, and then at the end you are testing and you are saying that, okay, we have these problems, so maybe it should go to technical team again, or there is a problem like that, let's go to stakeholder, ask this because it is over capacity, for example, some kind of things. And business analysts are consultants, like business consultant, and when you are going to, I don't I don't advise to become a business consultant or the consultant analyst at the beginning, because it is really difficult and there are a lot of knowledge they are asking. But at the beginning, maybe working internally as a business analyst in the company is better. But for the future, the consultant also, because I'm working as a consultant and it is really great for me. I like it, I love it, but that's also, you have to have that knowledge. But from this course, we are going to give that knowledge. We will try our best with the real life scenarios, and also like some management tools, like project management tool or project management ways, or let's say we are going to talk about the methodologies like agile methodology, waterfall methodology. So how can we, when we have to prefer agile, or when we have to prefer adaptive, like both, like both combined. And also sometimes like some, I know that some business analysts are applying for project manager role, and that's also good, especially in Salesforce, like for entry-level project manager roles also possible. So you can, or there are another role that is portfolio manager. And the portfolio is kind of when you are doing some kind of, let's say, implementations for different kind of industries as a business analyst, after a while, like, you know, like how to collect those portfolios, how to introduce these portfolios to your new customers, and how can you really like demonstrate a kind of way to mention that those are we did and we are capable of doing like these kind of things. So the portfolio management is one of the important things. The lastly, I can say that senior business analyst, like when you're really doing well and it became everything is perfectly fine, then you can become a senior business analyst, which is also good. And you are working with several business analysts in the company. Yeah, and you are working for the enterprise level projects. Yeah, those are the things I can say.
Thank you so much, Mr. Emin. There are some questions in the chat. I would like to ask this to you. Ruslan asked that how many BA needs for one company?
Yeah, it depends on the companies. Companies, if they are working in, like, it depends on the, I can say that capacity, and also companies, I don't know, like sometimes like I can say that the size of the company is also important. Sometimes like there are several projects at the same time, so they need more BAs. Some companies are like that. Some companies are having like one or two business analysts and they don't have that many things, because currently I know that the companies are using BAs for even bug fixes also. Like if Salesforce platform has problems, like small problems, they are using business analysts, because like business analysts are, as I said, they are translators, and they are just like kind of liaison between the business team and the technical team. So it is difficult sometimes, like business team and the technical team to come together and to discuss, and follow up is not being able like to be done by those two groups. So business analyst is actually illustrating and simplifying all kind of processes between the business team and the technical team. Sometimes like that's the picture I can see. But if you are working in a consultant company, everybody, like there are many business analysts in the consultant. So it depends on the company sizes and also capacity, I can say.
Thank you so much. The second one is, how deep should I know Salesforce admin or developer side to become a business analyst?
Actually, I'm also a technical person, and I like technical side of the Salesforce. sometimes it is advantage, sometimes it is not advantage to know like technical side, because when you are approaching to any kind of problem as a business analyst in Salesforce problem, you should know that this is about the business side. This is about the process improvement. This is about something like you have to, because solutioning is one of the most dangerous points. Like if you are solutioning in your mind that, oh, actually our technical team can do like that, that's the problem. Like business analysts cannot do solutioning. Business analysts cannot just like write solution notes, or cannot write like even the solutions in the acceptance criteria or user stories. Like they have to think business side of the problem, and it should be a little bit high level. If it's going to be, in acceptance criteria writing, for example, field is going to be, for example, Birol, and the field's name is going to be that's wrong. That's actually you are interfering technical teams like this, the work. Like that's the dangerous side of that. So knowing technical side at some extent is good, but on the other hand, you have to be careful when you are you are being a business analyst. So I can say that a little bit knowledge is good, but not that much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Emin. Mr. Birol, I would like to ask you this question. Is it possible to handle this course if I'm still taking Salesforce Developer course? You are mute, Mr. Russell.
Sorry about that. I think, yeah, it makes sense, because if you're still taking the course, you can still, at least watch the videos, and keep yourself educated, just in your own time. You can watch the videos for business analyst, or you can continue with the developer part. So it makes sense. You can do that as at the same time, I think. But it makes, I think Emin Bey can provide a better answer for that, because he's the one who's, teaching business analyst.
Yes, actually. What's your opinion, Mr. Emin?
Yeah, I think it's like they can do that. Why not? Like, but they should understand that business analyst also requires a lot of effort for because especially when it comes to soft skills, and they need to read many things, and they have to understand like how customers' relationships are being. But on the other hand, both of them are okay. Like they can continue as developers. Because I am, to be honest, I believe the importance of technical knowledge as a business analyst, to be honest. Like that's not, sometimes, yeah, it is dangerous, but on the other hand, I believe that it's going to, if a person can control themselves like in that aspect, that like they are not writing the solution in their requirement gatherings, or writing the user stories, acceptance criteria, then it's amazing to know, like to have the knowledge. And especially developer knowledge helps like at some point, because one of the difficult projects in Salesforce is integration part. Implementation part is really easy. There are not many sprints. There are not many like work like to be done there. And also the teams are being very small, because it's just declarative things. But on the other hand, if it comes to enterprise projects, so there are sometimes 2-3 different integrations. Let's say SAP integration, let's say, for example, Eureka integration. There are different kind of, when it comes to integrations, like having some developer mindset, developer knowledge is helping business analysts to write the right work streams and to assign the right things to people in the project. That's important.
Okay, thank you so much again. The last one is preparing to Salesforce-based certification included to the course, like exam questions or mock tests.
Good question. Of course, it will be. Like business analyst certification, I have 10 Salesforce certifications, and when I got them, I really studied hard, and plus I like learning, and also I am doing backward learning. Like I'm trying to understand. Let's say I am trying to understand like what is the what business analysts do, and what kind of, for example, let's say documentation, for example, or gathering requirements. So what kind of questions can come? Or I'm not thinking like that. That's not my way. My way is understanding the whole process. How can I make myself ready to gather the information, to gather the requirement? At that point, you have to research. You have to find different kind of things. Like because of that, I said there are many readings that they have to do.
Yeah.
So I am not providing questions, but on the other hand, I'm providing knowledge that they can go to that questions easily. It's going to be, those knowledge is going to be enough, but on the other hand, there will be some requirements like for reading some articles or reading some kind of documents that I'm going to provide.
Okay, thanks so much. I think it's done. I would like to thank my guests for taking the time to accept our invitation. It was very informative session with very informative answers. Have a good weekend, everyone. See you all soon.
Thank you.
Bye.